Life is good.
Life is good. Good morning, AB. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Cannot complain.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Another day, another dollar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm getting after it today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get the stream started. Make sure that you invite somebody you think is going to benefit from being in proximity with us by sending them that link, discord.gg/REI Rev. I'm going to start the stage here. Let us know in the side chat, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on in your world. Where are you at? What are you doing? Connect with the people that show up here day in and day out. You just never know. You might strike a deal with somebody in the audience. Coffee with closers. Real estate mastermind. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to send out an announcement. Awesome. Pushing it out there for everybody. Almost 20 people already joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited. We're going to start the week off with high energy, a lot of opportunity, blessed. Blessed to be here, blessed to be alive for another day. Blessed to wake up early and on time, and blessed to keep this momentum going throughout the week. I'm hoping that everybody in here is doing well today. We've got some offers going out today. We got a lot of exciting stuff, man. As we all kind of get in here, I'll tell everybody about kind of what I've been doing over the weekend. One of the things that I actually went to college for was to be a computer scientist, right? I went for computer science. And I already knew how to program. I had programmed video games and stuff when I was in middle school, but I just never liked to sit down and spend the time to actually code stuff out. But I already knew in my mind, how it all worked, how all the functions and everything work. I can debug stuff, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to share with you something that I find so powerful. Just like we have a calculator, we can put numbers together, get all sorts of different formulas together, and we don't need to know anything other than how to use the tool. Ladies and gentlemen, ChatGPT is that tool, okay? The way the world works is going to change forever. Just by having the base experience of knowing how to program stuff, I've been able to build multiple different useful tools to scrape data off the internet that's actually accurate. And I'm really excited for what's to come because I'm no longer limited by money because I don't have to pay anybody to code anything for me. I'm not limited by time because I don't have to sit down and learn how all of it works. I'm just limited by my creativity and my ability to prompt ChatGPT to do what I want it to do for me. And so I just find that to be such a blessing and something to be so grateful for. A lot of the time people want to say that they don't have the money, that they don't have the experience, that they don't know what to do, they don't know where to start, that, for whatever reason they came from a poor family or something like that, and, they have a disadvantage when it comes to, comparing themselves to somebody else who's in the game. But the reality is the playing field has been leveled. Everybody has the same opportunity. Everybody has the same access to opportunity. And the only person that is stopping you from going out and getting what you want is you. Because the world is abundant. You can get whatever you want out of the world so long as you're willing to put in the work and so long as you're willing to be successful, so long as you're willing to be resourceful. It's really just up to you. Anybody that is working a job right now, maybe it's somebody in the audience or somebody that's joining us on the live, and you see somebody that comes in and you envy their life or you find disgust in that person because they're in a better position than you are, understand that that is a reflection of you and your potential that is screaming out to you, telling you that you should be doing more with your life, that you're worth more than what your current situation is. And I just really hope that the people that see this feel inspired enough to go out and take action and to drop this victim mentality that for whatever reason I'm where I'm at and I can't be successful, and rewrite their script in their life and say, I don't care where I started, I'm going to start with what I've got, I'm going to start with what I know, I'm going to start with who I know, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to build something better for myself. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you're all excited. I'm excited to get after it today. Good morning, Dan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Sorry, I was late. I had to fix something for AB. So
All good, man. I'm excited.
Thank you very much.
We got AB joining us today, moving federal. Where's the camera at, AB?
1 second, sir.
There he
Wow.
is. There he is. Man, we got a show for us all today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, you got to invite somebody you think is going to benefit from being in proximity with us. Send them that link, discord.gg/REI Yesterday, we were actually all in here watching a new live stream from Steve Trang interviewing Brandon, Blue Notes Brandon, and he talked about his come up story and how he's going after his leads, where he's getting his list, how he's pulling his list, the importance of follow up and touching on these people multiple times. And I think that it's so important for you to stay in the mentality of real estate, especially over the weekend where there's a lot of distraction and a lot of stuff is happening. But to stay a student of the game, continue to learn from the people that are where you want to be is so important. So next time there's an opportunity for you to tap in and be around people that are actively watching and learning and taking notes, tap in, man. Don't lose that opportunity. One of the things that he shared was, he's really exclusively going after code violations and tax delinquencies. And that's something that I'm going to be implementing into my business. I've recently come across some very game-changing market data, and I'm going to be making some interesting moves with the SMS in specific areas, specific zip codes. And I'm excited, to document the process because I really feel like this is going to be that game-changing moment for me. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing today? What is going on with you all? Stacy says that she invites everyone that texts me as a wholesaler, which is a lot. That's awesome. We appreciate it, Stacy. That's one of our goals. We want to see this audience get packed out. We need to get over 200 people joining us every single day. That's the type of opportunity, guys. It's not just because the people up here, want to have more people in here. It's not only benefiting us, it's benefiting every single person that is actively participating, making themselves known, putting themselves out there, being a servant to the community, offering to help people. Carl just quit his job of 6 years on to better things. Carl, congratulations to you for breaking out of that matrix and making a decision to go full-time. I'm hoping that you made a decision to go full-time into real estate or whatever your passion is. Let's see it happen. I've got some exciting feedback. I want to talk about some stuff that's been going on in the community. I've been seeing a lot of members working together just over the last few weeks. Carson and SCO have been able to do multiple deals where they're actually buying properties now. They're not even wholesaling anymore. SCO told me that he's looking for a specific type of property in Lorain County, and I went and I found those types of properties. I pulled a list and I started a text blast. I'm already getting people that say they might consider selling, so I have a lot of calls to make today, so I'm excited for that. And hopefully we can make something out of nothing. There's a lot of great stuff happening today. Felicia attended her first Arkansas Sub-2 meeting in person last weekend, focused on working with a realtor. Congratulations, Felicia. Let's keep getting after it. Build on that momentum. We got some more people joining us this morning. What do you guys feel like you need from the community to get to that next level? Why is it that you feel like maybe you're not making progress? Or maybe there's many of us in here that feel like they're making progress. I want to know, how is everything going? What is something more that we can give to the community? A couple people typing. Let us know in the side chat, ladies and gentlemen. DMBA Property says, I just need someone to show me from beginning to end one time. Matt needs a 50-cent CRM. Dan is the man for that one. How many of us already know how to use PropStream? Who's pulling their lists with PropStream? Who's pulling their lists with PropWire? I'd love to know in the side chat, where are people getting their data? Kevin pulls with PropStream. What about you, AB? What about you, Dan? Are we fans of PropStream, PropWire?
I'm a straight
Right.
prop stream type of guy.
You're not supposed to be pulling data. Data for
Not
what?
for
Data
cold
is
cold
pulled,
outreach.
prop stream is used.
Can't do cold outreach. Can't do cold outreach. If you want to pull data to use as lookalike data, that's one thing, but you cannot reach out to people without their consent.
Well, that's too darn bad. Do it anyway.
Covering all my bases. Yeah. Listen, I listen, don't nobody come after me. I'm just telling you all how it is. Telling you all how it is.
Am I using ChatGPT for data or just skip tracing? It depends. I do like to try to use ChatGPT to get market data. I've recently pulled some very unique market data with Mr. Matt Riley. I'm excited to be testing it out with him. When it comes to skip tracing, I also created a script to skip off of a specific location that has accurate data. So now we've got unlimited skip tracing for free, and I'm excited. One of the things that I really want to do, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to offer some sort of, well, number one, this is why I want to do this. I want to run Facebook ads, and we need to target like lookalike data from the people that are already in the community to find more people that are like-minded, right? And so to do that, to run these ads, it costs money. And so we'd like to offer something that could offset the cost of the ads to continue to grow the community and benefit the community, but I haven't quite identified exactly what that could be. I mean, it could be data, it could be a course, it could be some sort of software, but the main goal is to get more of us in here to be in proximity with each other, because that's where opportunity is created, right? You find a wholesaler that's in here, and that wholesaler connects with a flipper, or you go from having no experience to becoming a wholesaler, and now you've got some money, so you're actually going and getting into these deals with flippers, and all members of the community. These are the types of opportunities that we want to see continue to be created. And to do that, we've got to be able to expand. And it's amazing every single time that somebody actually posts us on their social media and tags us, lets people know where they can join us, where they can be in proximity. That's fantastic. But we've got to also think about how we can scale beyond that, because there's only so much reach that we have as individuals. There's so much more leverage in running ads. And so with that, I think that we're probably going to have to offer some sort of product to offset the cost of ads. DMBA Property asks, what's the prompt to get ChatGPT to skip trace? It is not a prompt, it is a script that I've made. So I prompted ChatGPT to program something for me, and I debugged it, and that's how it works. It's not a specific prompt. Oh man, no way. My headphones are gonna die. Well, this is gonna be interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, I just wanna really get up here and say, there is nothing limiting you anymore. Like whatever thought that you thought was limiting you from getting after it, doing whatever it is you want with your life, shouldn't be limiting you anymore. You got literally all the opportunity, all the resources that you could possibly need. I'd love for somebody to hop up on the stage. I mean, if you guys feel fired up, like I feel fired up, hop up on the stage. Tell us about what's going on in your journey, what you're struggling with, what you're going through, what you've overcome over the weekend. Talk to us, man. Use this time. You know, we don't just hop in here just to talk. We hop in here to be productive and to be of service, you know, to one another. So really leverage that side chat. Let people know where you're at, who you are, what you do. You know, that's the best way that you can be in proximity with somebody that's in your market, maybe in a market that you're virtually marketing in. Could be boots on the ground, could be somebody that can structure, you know, a creative term for you or something like that. You just never know who's in proximity. There are private money lenders that are joining this call every single day. And if there are any out there in the audience right now that would like to get a return on their money backed by real estate, shoot me a DM and we can work together. I've got a lot of different opportunities for you coming up in my pipeline, and I want to work with people that are serious, that may not have the time to commit to doing the business themselves, but want to put their money to use and get a return backed by real estate. Raul asks, how can you use social media to be able to grow your name as a successful real estate agent and be successful at it? So I'm personally not an agent, though I have been able to grow a community, you know, using social media. And the number one thing that I would suggest in terms of maybe being an agent, you could take photos when you go to closing and have the people that you close with post about it on their Facebook or Instagram, like a picture of them closing, you know, with the big key at the title company, just finished signing docs. Have them post about it, right? You need to enter into other people's circles and spheres of influence, right? That's the number one thing that people got to understand is like, I only have so many people that are watching me and that know who I am, right? Within my own sphere of influence. Now, if I go and I collaborate with somebody else who has a whole other audience that's watching them and they like me, they're going to come and follow me and check me out. So think about it like that. You know, there are different ways that you can offer value to other people. You know, once your sphere of influence grows to a point, you can offer that exposure to somebody else. That's kind of the way that I think about it. That's how I think I personally go about it. What are some other ways? Making content around it, documenting what you're doing. You know, don't just get in front of a house. Hey guys, I'm here at 123 Main Street. Come shop. You know, I got this house. It's under contract, ready to go. You know, those things don't capture anybody's attention. It's not interesting for anybody. Drop facts. Drop information. You know, things that people may not know. Tips and tricks. You know, things that capture attention. That's what you want to share on social media to grow your presence and grow your brand as a real estate agent. Stacy says, post content at new builds, bring value to people, introduce the community, restaurants and businesses, and do what I'm mentioning. But yeah, I like that as well. You know, you could probably go to a restaurant. Maybe you could put up, you know, your card somewhere. You'd be surprised. There are restaurants that have, I was looking at one literally the other night. There are restaurants that have screens that just play ads. If you can get your ad in front of the people that are in there, showing them like a nice apartment or a nice house that you have, you know, available to them, make sure that you put a QR code, something that they can scan right with their phone, and market yourself. Let people know who you are and what you're doing. That's the biggest thing. If people don't know who you are, what you do, or where you're at, how are they going to do business with you? DMBA Properties asking if we gatekeep. That's crazy. I mean, we're sitting up here every day for an hour, and we're literally giving you the sauce. You know what I'm saying? For free. So I mean, if you're not with it, you can step, but like you're free to stay if you like. It's that simple. Most people do not care about real estate agents' posts and videos. They are boring. They are a copycat of every other agent's videos. Have fun while giving out information. I think that's a great suggestion. One of the guys that I've seen, and I don't even shop Colorado real estate, but I've seen this one skateboarder who does tricks and stuff, and he tells everybody, he does these massive tricks, and then he'll say, I'm a real estate agent. You know, if you need something in Colorado, I'm your guy. I don't even know who the guy is, but I just know he's an agent, you know, just because he's doing something different. Aaron says something factual. He says, no reason to gatekeep. Most people won't put in the work either way. So true.
I don't want to get into I don't want to get in I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it.
Dan is trying to pick peace
I don't
over
want to.
violence today, ladies and gentlemen. This is
I don't want to
new
get
week for
into it.
Dan.
I really Andy don't man, don't make me do it, man. No, it's all good. It's all good. You kept a level head on that inquiry, John. You really kept a level head on that.
Well,
You handled that question way better than I thought it was going to come out.
I mean, it's the truth, man. We get up here every single day, and honestly, it kind of hurts, that.
No, but I'm talking about the request. I'm talking about the request to. I'm talking about the
What's the
request.
prompt?
Yeah, no, yeah, to put your script out there.
Oh, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's intellectual property, right? So that's what people get paid for in today's economy.
That also has nothing. It has nothing to do with this server. It has nothing to do with that. Something John's doing on his own. It's something that if he decides to share it with us or not, is 100,000% up to him. So it has nothing to do with what we're doing here. So, but you know what? I'm not gonna get too far into it. That individual has been in here, like Matt Riley said. I think they came in on Saturday, so they're not familiar with what we do here and in how this community runs. So, and look, they already left.
Oh, wow.
They already left the live stream. So
we got Mr. Matt
it's
Riley
okay.
joining us on stage, ladies and gentlemen. What a treat, man. What's going on, Matt?
What's up?
How you doing?
What's up,
I know Matt's happy. I know Matt's excited for this week.
No, I think it's funny, man, that yeah, John handled it well. I just think the audacity. I just don't understand where where that's done anywhere else. You just don't imagine like getting a W-2 and just like on your second day, it's just
but
like,
it's
hey,
like,
can I talk to the CEO here? Can I get something? Like you're just asking for things that
Matt, the most people that I've talked to, most people that I've gotten inquiries from who want to wholesale. Do you know where they come from?
probably social media for sure.
No, I mean like societal wise. Do you know where most people who get into wholesaling, society wise, do you know where most people who want to get into wholesaling, do you know where they come from? Like economic tax bracket, society wise.
The gutters.
The gutters.
America.
So is there poor? Exactly. So you feel like there's a lot of self-education and how to be a good person and how to treat people right and how to ask right questions? Do I mean, John kind of grew up in the gutter. Talk to us about the gutter, John. Is there a lot of education going around in skate parks of how to treat people with absolute respect and
skate park
right thing and not steal and all these things?
I'll tell you from firsthand experience. Back when I used to skate all the time, I've been getting the itch a little bit lately, to get back on the board. But back when I used to skate all the time and I was just hanging around people that skated and that was the only aspiration that they had in their life. I mean, if you're really thinking about it, we're just vandalizing property. It's true. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. I remember doing it. I had my time. I had my stage of life where I was doing that. I was rebellious, but like, we're really vandalizing property. We're really a high liability for people. We bust our head and, there's a lawsuit. People are scared. They don't want to see their properties get vandalized or ruined. But I'll tell you, man, the thing that skateboarders are typically most concerned with is, where the pack is at. That's about it. That's really about it. It's like, who's about to land the next trick and like, how are they going to get high? That's about it. I'm going to be honest with you. And at some point, if you really want something more for your life, you're going to get tired of that environment. And, Dan, I think what you brought up about there is no education about how to be a good person, I think that would be a pretty good video course, to really put out there. It's like people don't really have a way to conduct themselves. They don't understand that there are social etiquettes.
That was my point. That was my point. That was just my whole point. Is this that, I just think that a lot of people who get into this game, it's just like where Cat Williams said. I don't understand why we look at a basketball player and say he didn't score no hockey goals this whole season. He don't play hockey, right? So you can't look at someone who. A lot of people who get in this game, they come from a position of they didn't really have anybody there to teach them how to ask for things the right way and when to not ask for this, when to not do this. So here's the thing: is like I could come in here and we can ban everybody and we can kick them out and we can say go kick rocks, go learn to be better and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, what is that really doing? How are we really shaping society if we just boot them out on the first inquiry or whatever? So if you come in here and act like a fool, unless you're like totally out of pocket, right? Which I didn't feel like that was totally out of pocket. I feel like it could have been a lot worse. So I know, Andy, but I'm trying to come into this week. I'm trying to come into this situation with a different outlook as of today and moving forward. Because I feel like we ban a lot of people consistently, and it's like I said, it's one thing if you're posting some crazy links or you're trying to scam people or whatever.
But it's just
I think
we can't just get people out of here based off ignorance.
Yeah, I think you can't just get people out just because they might just really just not know any better, and so I would rather us let them stay in here. Hang around, and really have us set an example so they can actually see the difference between
Matt's not feeling that.
else.
I think Matt's feeling like he's at a daycare with that comment.
It's just one of those things. Like, I didn't fucking grow up with any money. I got turkeys delivered to me growing up.
There's a difference, though.
There was nobody in my life.
Money.
I had an abusive stepfather. I had fucking and I understand what your position. I totally understand that standpoint, right? Where like there is that feel good, right? Like we've all helped new people in this space. That there's just also that like that one thing or a few things about people that you can't really teach. It's that metric that doesn't really show up on paper sometimes, and it's that how they approach you in your DMs or how they interact with like. There's that mentality of like, what's this community for? And I know that it was a message, right? So maybe we perceived it our own ways of how we read it. Maybe it was not typed out that way, but in the eyes of the beholder, it's just frustrating in that situation. I get where most people come from, but you're always going to be there if that's your mentality of like, what's this for? It's for me. Give it to me for free because I got nothing and people need to. It's like nobody owes you shit.
Yeah,
nobody
but I've seen a lot of people
either.
I've seen a lot of people who come into this Discord who didn't like me in the very beginning. Man, Alan, I'm gonna tell you something about Alan. Alan shit talked me in the side channel the first day he ever came into the Discord. He said something, he didn't like something about what I had to say, and Alan shit talked me from the very moment that he got in here, and I think he asked for like he sent me a he did this or whatever. And I said, you know what, motherfucker? I said, I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to explain shit to you. I'm telling you exactly like it is. And he didn't say anything else after that. And then he hit me in the DMs afterwards, and he said, and he wrote me some, message, and Dan, I want you to know, I probably didn't, I wasn't thinking about it that way, and I did think about what you said and all that stuff, and I think I said like fuck off or whatever, like just told him like I told him like kick rocks after he came out of, you know what I mean, and a lot of people don't like me when they come into this server, but here's the thing, and then a lot of you guys who do like me is because of the fact that you've been in here for such a long period of time that you're like that I start to wear down on you, you know what I mean, like a little bit, because you're like, okay, hey, I see that he's not a bad guy, I see his motivation, I see his motives, I see what he's really after. So I think what I'm what I'm saying is that I think it's just a matter of, you know, you want to let people at least kind of soak around the environment a little bit and
I
see the
agree, Dan. I
difference
agree, and I think that
between
goes back to.
the other discords and everything else, you know.
But even just
It's
their
just also
sphere of
tough when you're trying to
influence.
like cultivate a community as well of like we want
That's
to grow
true.
this and push the needle forward, and it's like it's
That's
hard to
true.
cultivate more professionals coming into this space when you have individuals like that. And again, it was just a message that maybe was perceived from whoever was reading it. Maybe you read it, everybody read it differently
No, that's
according to
true.
who was reading it. But it's hard when people like that come in here and like, oh, I just found this thing and now whatever it's a free Discord, I give it to me all for free. And this business, whether it's this community or business as a whole, it's a give and take. You have to give as much as you take, and you can't just come in and just take everything from people and expect that to be it's not good for life. It's just frustrating in those situations, especially when you know how much you all give to the community and all that kind of stuff. But again, they joined 2 days ago, so they have no idea, and you have to give that grain of salt. But at the same time, it's like when you borrow a friend of yours $20 and then you got to chase them for 6 months to get your $20 back. You're like, that was the cheapest lesson I've ever learned. That was $20 to learn the lesson that you're a piece of shit and that you're not a good person or a good friend. I'll take that lesson all day. See you later. I'll never call you or ask you for that 20 again. Go, see you later. So it's like sometimes the lesson can be learned quickly, or it's just how much time do you really want to spend on people?
Right.
That's true as well. But I do think that it has a lot to do with their sphere of influence, the people that are closest to them, and what they see. But I
Yes.
definitely agree. I definitely agree that you got to be able to come correct. You got to be professional, especially in real estate. This isn't like a side hustle. Sit on the corner and sell. Some sort of something. This is real business. We're dealing with people's real lives and their real assets. This is no joke. So you got to really keep that in mind. And I know wholesaling has been kind of brought up a lot on Instagram and TikTok as like a get rich quick kind of thing. There's a lot of money to be made in the industry. It's not going to happen to you overnight, and you really need to learn how to become a competent individual in this industry to be able to earn that amount of money. So, don't start with the mentality that it's going to be easy. You're like I cannot exaggerate this enough. Like the blessing to just even be in proximity with people like Dan, people like Matt that come up here every single day and share with us, their experience is invaluable. There's no one else doing this kind of stuff, especially for free. And the reason that we can do it for free is that we really do the business. We're not worried about selling a course to get by and feed our families. We really do deals. And that's something that you just don't get access to anywhere else. All these people that you see that are selling in these courses on TikTok and Instagram, they don't even really do the business. So really be in a mindset of, wow, like
Yeah.
this is that one in a lifetime opportunity, and I gotta make it happen. I gotta take it. And I hope that everybody in here really does see it, really does recognize it, and that doesn't wait on it, because this is it. This is that opportunity. I believe that nothing
Yeah, I think
happens randomly.
we're truthfully here because we enjoy this more than anything else. I think that's truthfully, while we're still doing this every day. Because I really think that if we didn't enjoy this, we wouldn't be up here every day, continuing to keep
Dude,
pushing this forward. So
dude, there's no, I mean, that's why it's okay in those moments sometimes, because it's like for every one person like that, and again, maybe they'll come back tomorrow and be a completely different person, and like you said, maybe there will be a DM and whatever, maybe not, maybe they'll just come in and start giving and it'll be fine. But for every
yeah,
one person or one comment like that, there's maybe multiple people that are in here actually trying to do the business, asking the right questions. You got people in the past like Coach and all these other people that have come and graced their presence here and asked the questions and then put in the work and then done all the things they're supposed to do. And all the people that you've worked with and John has worked with and I've worked with from this community that were just starting out. So that's why we stay up here and do this because of those people and everybody else that obviously is doing the same thing.
no, it's true. I've never met Matt in person. I've never met Paul in person. You know what I mean? I've never met Bob in person. Actually, I've met John in person. I've met John Rivera in person, but I've never met Angelo or anybody, but all these people, you know, what I mean, all of us who come up here and keep doing this every day. I mean, like, I truthfully do feel like that, Andy. I do feel like, you know, like these guys are like my family in a way. They've become, you know, like brothers to me, and you know, I would let any of these guys, if they were here, to be able to, you know, they're always welcome at my house anytime to stay with me and anything like that. So, you know, that is truly how I feel. It's not just it's not like we're just up here faking it or whatever. At least I'm not faking it. Matt Riley might be faking it just to, I don't know, sell a course or something.
I got the 2-year course on its way.
He might be low key sleeping on us. He's a sleeper. But no, I do truthfully feel that way. So it is interesting when, you know, it is interesting when people kind of come at us in the comment section. If they come at one of the other members, especially someone who gets up here, you know what I mean, like Matt or John, who I'm talking to every single day, it's like when I know differently, it's like it is easy for me to make, you know, a defensive maneuver and immediately attack that individual. But I don't know. I just kind of decided, you know, Sko had a conversation with me after, you know, I kicked a certain member from the group, you know, a few weeks ago, and Sko said, you know, he said, no, he said, I'm not saying that you weren't in the right or whatever. He said, all I'm saying is that sometimes you have to understand where people are coming from, and you just have to understand, and you do better just to educate them rather than to just immediately attack them. So, you know, I thought about that. I've been thinking about that a lot ever since he told me that. And that really hasn't left my mind since that happened. And I just think about it a lot. I think about all these people who we just kick real quick out of the community for just, you know, on a quick thought. You know what I mean? And I'm just thinking about what's our ultimate goal. Is our ultimate goal, is it to build a super exclusive network to where we're only doing deals with each other or this or that? Is that our goal really to revolutionize the real estate community? And if it's the goal is really to revolutionize the real estate world, like, you know, the name, insinuates, then we also have to understand that there's going to be people out there who want to be a part of the real estate world who do not understand, you know, how to always come correct from the very beginning. And we just have to really keep differentiating ourselves from everybody else until they kind of understand, you know, really how different we are compared to everybody else. You know, I saw a Instagram advertisement over the weekend from an individual's account. I'm not going to say who it is, but he's pretty big on Instagram. He's gotten pretty big on Instagram. He runs a pretty big, I don't know if it's a really big Discord. I don't think it's a really active Discord, but it's one of those, like, you got to pay to get in and all these things, right? And then once you pay to get in, then they still gatekeep, you know, certain things. But his Instagram is like, it's like two letters, you know. It spells out, it's an acronym for his business. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, but I just saw his video and I thought about commenting, and I thought, you know what, I'm not even going to give this guy the time of day. I'm not going to keep making the algorithm, because everybody who continues to comment or like the post, it pushes the post farther into other people's algorithm and stuff like that. And I didn't I just decided not to do it. But in the video, he really portrays like he's given all this sauce on how to get a deal and all this stuff. Oh, and there's people in the comments hyping him up, like his hype boys are in his comments section. Oh man, don't give away this much sauce for free. Like I can't tell you how many comments I saw like that, and he's like, yeah, bro, but only some people are gonna take action. You know what I mean? And it was just all the stupid, the stupid standard shit you always fucking see, and realistically in the video, it's portrayed very well to look like he is giving out all this information 100% for free. And in reality, though, if you really know how the industry is going, how the industry works, how this business really goes, you know that there is little to no information in that video to actually go and get a deal. it's mind blowing to me when I'm sitting there watching that video, knowing how misdirecting this information is. And meanwhile, these people in the comments, like his buddies and stuff, people are thinking that this is real, and people are making in the comments like, "Man, that Discord changed my life," or whatever. I'm like, dude, shut up, man, shut the fuck
Yeah, your
up.
life sucked
Like,
then. Your
like,
life sucked.
you know what I mean? I'm like, there is no fucking way that Discord changed your life, because I know all about their whole thing. And here's the deal: is like, it's just like John said. It's like these guys maybe 2 or 3 years ago, maybe they did close some deals. They were doing the business at one time, but a lot of those people are no longer in the business, and that's why they've transitioned over to doing courses so heavily in the past year and a half. Is because in the past year and a half, real estate got hard. It got fucking really hard. Like, real estate is not the same as it used to be 3 years ago. Like, it used to actually be pretty simple to actually go and get a deal. And that's not really an overstatement or like, oh, you guys missed the train. It's more of as a statement of like, there was a lot of shit that happened during 2020 and 2021 that created a lot of fake success. And I remember watching Patrick Bet-David's content about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, him saying the problem is that there was a lot of fake success created in 2020 and 2021. It created a lot of fake success that got a lot of people's egos real revved up, thinking that they were going to do way better than that they were actually going to do. Because COVID changed the whole game. You either made millions of dollars or you lost everything. Like, there's a lot of people who had their businesses who got their business shut down because they just couldn't even maintain. And there's a lot of people who started getting online, getting on the computer, and started making hundreds of thousands of dollars in industries that they really shouldn't have been able to. But here's the kicker: is like, when you make hundreds of thousands of dollars, when you really haven't earned it, you really don't hardly ever do the correct thing with it. What you do is you go out and spend it. So a lot of those people thought they developed a real skill set, but they really didn't. Because the real skill set, if you're closing deals now, you really are doing this business. If you're closing deals right now, you are really different. Because there's a lot of people who don't have the skill set anymore right now, the way that the market currently stands, to be able to run the business. So they're selling courses instead.
You got to be different if you want to be successful. That's just the reality of it. And a lot of the people that are selling these courses, a lot of people, where there's information online, it's all the same information. So you're saying the same stuff that every other person contacting that seller is saying. You're forming your call the same way. But do you recognize that there's not a script that you should be following, but a framework for your call, and that you should be able to have an emotional connection with whoever it is that you're on the phone with and not feel or sound like a robot? Because why would somebody want to do business with a robot, right? The world is already turning into a robotic machine, right? They want to do business with real people. So I think that's what makes us different. Is when we get on the phone, we really want to have a real, genuine conversation with somebody. And the reality is sometimes that conversation might not lead to a deal today. It might lead to a follow-up or an appointment where we've got to continue to touch that person and say, hey, what's going on? Are you still interested in selling? And following up until that lead converts to a sale. But to get in front of as many people as possible and have real, genuine connections and conversations with those people is what's ultimately going to get you where you want to be.
Bro, yeah. COVID was wild in terms of everyone's success. And you could throw a baseball and close 30 listings if you're an agent, you're an investor. Anybody can make a property cash flow at 2.5%, 3% interest rates. Everybody was a genius. I watched somebody at Chase Bank get arrested doing the PPP loan scam as well. I was in the bank and they locked the doors, dude, and people came in and arrested this person because they were running PPP loan scams. How many geniuses were on the internet flashing dollars and cars and all these other things because they were taking out PPP loans and filing them for other people and everything else? And then sure enough, like Dan was saying, things got real different here in the last year and a half. So 2020 to 2021 and a half, yeah, man, everybody was a genius, and now all of a sudden, 2023 to present, it's a completely different ball game. And that PPP money dried up. Those interest rates aren't around anymore. People don't know what they're gonna do. People don't know how to make things work anymore. Completely different game.
No one saved their money. No one saved their money. The whole national savings just keeps decreasing every single month because people have to now are taking money out of their savings to try and just stay afloat on the mortgages that they can't afford and the credit card bills that they racked up the past 2 years because they had all this great APRs. And I mean, the whole problem is that people, when financial situations like that are real interesting, it's like all these financial institutions try to take advantage of those situations. So you had banks giving out rates real cheap, real low, right, to try to get incentivized to get people to buy homes and all these things and start creating all this, this massive real estate explosion. Then you have credit card companies and they're shipping out, apply for this credit card to like everybody. Oh, get the first 3 months, no interest. The first year, no interest, and get super low APR, on your credit card. And you got all these people who thought that the money that they were making at that time was going to continue or even climb. And it didn't. It went down significantly. And now we're in a situation of people are drowning in their mortgages. They're drowning in their mortgages. They're drowning in mortgage, and they've already, done, a loan modification. They've already, they've taken out a HELOC on their. I've seen people take out HELOC on their house to make the payments on the original mortgage, just so the original mortgage wouldn't go into pre-foreclosure. But the whole problem is now they can't pay back the HELOC that they took out on the home. So now they got 2 mortgages open up on their home, and now they're double drowning because the HELOC money eventually runs out. And the credit card money eventually runs out. Listen to me, if you're using your credit cards to pay your taxes, you're in a really bad position. Because there is that's not how that works. Like, if you are using credit to pay back something that is giving you no return, that is a really bad place to be in. There's a really bad place right now in America in terms of financial, and you need to be able to find the opportunity in today's current market. Yeah, you can't just keep kicking the can down the road. I mean, which is a lot of what these people are doing. But there's a lot of opportunity.
This is why I love real estate so much, is because whatever is happening in the world, whatever market we're in, whatever the economy is doing, somebody's always going to need to sell. Somebody's always going to want to buy. You just got to be able to find and structure good deals, good investment opportunities, whether that's for yourself and you reach out and you work with somebody that's a part of the community and you start buying these deals and flipping these deals and selling these deals yourself, or you assign it to somebody else. But the reality is there's always going to be an opportunity for you to make money and get rich in real estate, regardless of what's going on in the world, regardless of what people are doing, regardless if there's a pandemic or if everything gets shut down. There's always going to be somebody that needs to sell, and there's always going to be somebody that needs to buy real estate, a home, a building, a unit. It's always going to be there. It's one of those things that's not going away. It's been around longer than all of us have been alive, and it's going to stick around longer than all of us are going to be around. So that's why I believe in real estate so much. That's why I'm so fired up about it. That's why I'm so passionate about it. And that's why I'm so focused on it, because I don't see the value of chasing anything else that could be fleeting. I want to focus on something that's long lasting, and I just don't see any other opportunity like real estate.
There's not.
Can you believe it? Matt, did you hear that? Dan is a real estate guy?
Listen, man, I've done a lot of different businesses, right? I've been in a lot of different industries. I'm in 2 industries right now, adding a third back in at the end of the year because I'm an absolute psychomaniac. The cool thing about doing the CRM with the real estate business is I get to mesh both of them together. So it works in a tandem way, sort of in a lot of scenarios, because I've kept it, very real estate focused. But you know, I've seen a lot of, like, I had a gym at one point. I was doing neuromuscular therapy at one point. I was just me on the road, just doing my thing, trying to make something happen. You know, I was doing personal training and, you know, diet coaching and all these things. The one thing that I will tell you about all these other things, also too, I've been in the restaurant business my whole life because my family's in the restaurant business. So, the one thing that I will tell you is that the number one thing that I've seen people get rid of real quick, right? Like they dismiss right away, or like luxury things, right? Where they dismiss going to the gym, they dismiss getting a personal trainer, they dismiss getting a health coach. When money gets tight and things get real, like, you know, tough, economic wise, people are just not going to be able to go and pay for luxury items or things, right? Because if you own a luxury item or a service, and that's your whole business, and it's based around the economy being in a good position, you're going to get hit first. As soon as the economy takes a hit, you're going to get hit, because your customer base is based off of people affording things that they don't need. And so if people automatically start to go into a position where they can only afford things that they do need, then you're going to be the first thing up that's going to take a hit from that, right? You're the first thing off the board. The one thing about real estate is, like, there's always going to be some type of opportunity on the table, because everybody always has to have somewhere to live. So you have to have some type of shelter over your head, whether that's renting, whether that's, you know, I mean, whether it's owning, whatever it is, you have to have some type of shelter over your head. So the real estate industry might be in a tough position, but the thing is that a lot of the real estate in the US, the majority of the real estate is not owned by individuals, it's owned by institutions. So therefore, those institutions don't own real estate. So I'm really breaking down exactly how the US economy really works in terms of real estate right now, so you guys can really understand the full picture. The US economy is ran primarily on the fact that people are going to pay their taxes and people are going to pay their debt. And as soon as people quit paying their debt and quit paying their taxes, and then you have the other people who want to go and get their money back out of the bank, that's when economic destruction happens. That's when the economy collapses. And the reason being is because, like I said, most of the homes in America are owned by institutions, not by individuals. If we all owned a home, right, and we all owned our homes outright, 100% cash, then we really wouldn't be in that big of a situation right now. But the reason that there's a lot of opportunity on the table is because a lot of the real estate in the United States, the majority of the real estate in the United States, is owned by people who don't do real estate. And the money that they're using to pay for that real estate and back that real estate is provided and insured by the citizens of the United States, right? And so if the citizens of the United States didn't put their monies into the banks, then people wouldn't be able to go out and buy a home. And then therefore, there wouldn't be anybody who wouldn't be owning anything. So the whole reason that we're able to do and live the way that we do and have the things that we have is because it's all been like this little perfect picture this whole entire time. And but the problem is it's a very fragile structure. So as soon as somebody throws a stone at it, then the whole thing can really collapse. That's what really happened in 2008. Is because a lot of these loans, a lot of these situations are built off of nothing. And what happened when COVID came along is a lot of these loans were built off of nothing. And that's why we're back to where we're at. So here's the thing is, like, if you have money, if you have the ability to get money, if you have access to money, and you have the ability to save someone from their debt, then you need to try and do so and structure something out to get it done. Because if we don't start structuring it right now, then all of the real estate in the United States is going to go directly to the government. If it comes down to a point where everybody just starts failing their mortgages, everybody just starts going under. And I'm telling you, it's happening more and more every single day. There's more and more sellers that are raising their hands because they can't pay their mortgages. They can't make the payments. They can't do it anymore.
So Dan, the question becomes, what happens to those sellers that can't make the mortgage payment? What are they going to do? I mean, interest rates are high. Anybody that's offering, a property for
we
rent
can't
is
give it all
high.
back to the banks because the banks don't want it. The banks can't do nothing with it. They don't want the real estate. So banks don't want real estate because they're not a real estate related company. They just want to back the real estate. But the banks don't want the real estate. So what the banks want is they want you to keep being able to make that monthly payment. They want that to stay in there, or they want somebody to come in and be able to, negotiate, and pay off that loan. But there's a lot of positions where, if everybody foreclosed on the properties, there would be a lot of positions where, we would be in a really bad place, because if everybody starts foreclosing, there's not enough people who can back that real estate up and rebuy that real estate, which means all that real estate just lost all of its value, because where they would have to be at to be able to buy that real estate would be much lower than, what they would really initially, what it was really backed up for. So then the initial mortgage really becomes worth nothing. So, and if that happens, that really collapses the current financial state, right? Like that really collapses the US dollar. So there's a lot of opportunity right now where there are a lot of people raising their hand, where a lot of people last year who weren't interested in doing some type of, subject to based transaction or wrapping their mortgage around to somebody else. There's a lot of people right now who are asking. I mean, agents are trying to learn about it right now. I mean, there's agents out there who are grasping for straws trying to learn about sub 2 right now, because they realize that they can't just go and sell a house anymore like they used to.
Good. Let them drown. See you later. See you later. I have 50 plus recorded conversations with agents across the country. Let them go. See ya. 50. Let it be 50 plus 500,000 more. Remember what are those? It's like that big conspiracy theory, those stones that are in like somewhere in the United States, like in Georgia or something, and nobody knows how they got there. No one's ever seen them, and they're just like it's like a big figure thing, and on there it has inscription, and supposedly it says about the perfect balance of the world, and it says like world population to be this, and all of these different things. Conspiracy theorists are crazy about it.
About the
real estate agents,
the new world. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's like something like that, where it talks about like I forget that, something headstone, something like that. But
no, that's
see you later.
That's an Ireland.
No, there's one here. I have to look it up. I'll send it here. But there's a population balance, and they want it to be like 300 million, something crazy, where like 80% of the world would have, and that would be the perfect balance of the world.
There you go, Matt. The Georgia
500,000. Yes, there it is, my man. Georgia Guidestones, and nobody knows how they got there. Nobody has seen them built. They were just like there all of a sudden one morning, and on there it's this crazy thing. And then, like I said, it's got an inscription on there of the perfect balance. 500,000 agents can just go. See you later. I want that on the Georgia Guidestones. Like, let's just add real estate agents on there. If you're offended at this, then you're not the agent I'm talking about. Most likely, you're probably a good one. But they don't want to learn anything. They don't, and I'm not a teacher, right? I'm not here to educate them. I don't. But it's just nonsense. How brutal it is! Awful. They are being. There's just so much wrong with them. It's crazy. Yeah, dude, it's just insanity. Like, my wife comes down and she's like, I've never heard you like argue with more people than when you're talking like creative finance with agents. And it's like, That's why I have people on my team now, because it's like I can't do, like, mentally, it's like cold calling for 8 hours a day where you're just told no and fuck off, and like
Yeah.
arguing with agents drives me insane, and I'm not even trying. I try to, like, they'll motherfuck me, they call me a spam scam, and they're gonna do all these awful things, and then I get on the phone with them and I'm trying to be nice and cordial and they're just awful. The most elitist group of individuals that are commission based is insane to me. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. I just think it goes back to they just don't, the whole problem is, Matt, those people that you're talking about, they don't have a real valuable skill. And I've said this a lot before in terms
Yes.
of like high ticket sales agents. That's the new thing right now. Is people, they go high ticket sales agents. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like they like become the next high ticket sale. Somebody sell somebody else's high ticket product or whatever. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's great, and you could do that, right? But the problem really is that these skill sets have no long lasting, like here's the thing, like back in the day when if you could make, like, for instance, like if you could craft leather, if you were a leather crafter, right? Economic destruction happens, you're still gonna be in business because people are gonna fucking need leather forever, right? Like it's just one of those things where you cannot run out of leather, right? It's like if you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, if you're anybody that has any type of real valuable skill set, anything, um, you're always going to be needed in society. The whole problem that I've seen recently with the economy, maybe this is something that you should really
It's funny you say that, Dan. I had somebody reach out to me today about, John, I need somebody for high ticket sales. I literally had somebody say that. He said, can you recruit me somebody?
yeah.
It's crazy, man.
It's the
But
most,
it goes back to what we were
it's just
talking
like
about.
it's
There's
just
always
money,
some
it's
new
just
trend.
money.
There's always some new trend. There's always something
Yeah.
new to chase. But the reality is real estate has been here and it will continue to be here forever. So if you stop
That's
thinking
true.
about
If you
just your
understand real
life
estate,
and you stop thinking about what's going on right now and what you're going to do with your time, you start thinking about what am I going to do with my generation? What am I going to do with everybody that comes after me? And you really think about it like, damn, if I educate everybody that comes after me, my family that I create, the family that they create, and if they can just become financially literate enough to understand how to identify a deal and how to expand the portfolio, and that just becomes one of the foundations that you really base your family upon, you will create wealth for yourself and your family. But it starts with you. And if you can shift your mentality from what's going on in the world right now or whatever you want to do, dude, fuck what's going on right now. Think about what's going to happen. Think about the types of opportunities that are presented to us right now with AI and the different opportunities that we have there. The window is closing, guys. Like the institutions are getting bigger and bigger. They're buying more and more. So if you really want to do something about it and you really want to break your family out of enslavement, because that's really what's going to happen. It is enslavement that is going to happen. People are becoming slaves to their phones, slaves to the system, slaves to the matrix. You have to be the person to say, all right, this is how we're going to break through. It's got to be real estate. Fuck all the other bullshit and just focus. Create something for yourself, and you will be surprised if you really just dial in for the next 5, 10 years, 10, 20 years, thinking decades, not just years, decades. How many decades do I have to really focus on building a portfolio? You know, if you want to go down the path of making a family, and then educating your family about what to do to continue to preserve the wealth and expand it. Because this is the only opportunity we really have. I'm going to be honest with you. I already tried trading. I already tried e-com. I tried drop shipping. All this different stuff is here today, gone tomorrow. Real estate has been around and it will be around longer than we will be around. So if you can keep that in your mind when you're making your decisions, you will be surprised at how well you will be just a decade from now. If you just dial in, learn how to identify a good deal, how to get in front of a motivated seller that needs to sell in the next 30 to 45 days, figure out that skill, become good on the phone, bro, it's gold. You will be fine. But I believe that's the solution to the problem. A lot of people are focused on the problem. They feel like there's no way out. There really isn't. There really is no way out of it. Unless you take action now. Unless you do something about it right now. Unless you decide that I'm going to do something for myself and my family today, That's the only way, and it has to start with you, because it ain't going to start with nobody else. If nobody did this for you and you don't do it for somebody else, it's just going to be a cycle that continues, and you will be enslaved to essentially being a pawn for somebody else's major scheme. So really ask yourself if that's the life that you decide to give, to your future generations, anybody that comes after you. Are you comfortable with that? Do you think they would be grateful for that? Start to think about it. What's going to happen after you? A lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people don't even give it a thought. What is going to happen after I exist, when I'm gone? What type of impact am I going to leave on my community, on my family, on the industry that I'm in? What is that going to look like? It's all up to you at the end of the day. So don't let this opportunity slip. Don't let it pass you by. Really get angry, get worried, and get after it, because it's happening now. We have been around. Everything that has happened in your life has led you to the opportunity to make the decision to be a part of this call right now. And out of your free will, you decided that you were going to be here, you were going to sit, and you were going to listen to what we had to say. And it might be one reason or another, but I believe that the people that join this community, that constantly join these calls, are here because they want more out of life. They do not want to be slaves, have somebody else tell them how they're allowed to spend their time, what time they're allowed to wake up, when they're allowed to go to the bathroom, how long they're allowed to take off to go and eat. If you want to have real freedom, you got to make real sacrifice today. So get after it. Don't allow yourself to sit on the sidelines anymore. It's 2024. We got all the opportunity that you could possibly imagine. It's never been more readily available. You can literally script things with prompts using AI. You don't even need to learn about any of the other stuff. Like, all you need to know is pseudocode, and you can really make things out of thin air. So I hope that people really see the world that I'm seeing it today. And I hope that they don't just get fired up and they hear about it and they say, damn, John really got me fired up. I hope that they take that and they go and do something about it, because I'm not going to be sitting around. I'm not going to be sitting around. I'm not going to be the one to just let this opportunity pass me by. I'm going to do something about it. I've already started. I've already done it. I already proclaimed this. And it's already materializing in real time. So just wait. 1 decade from now, I'm going to be a completely different person. I'll look back at this moment and I'll say, wow, I really did it. And I hope that every single person that's listening to this, whether it's live in this audience or on some recording years later, does the same thing, because we both have the same opportunity. We both have the same resources. We both have the same playing field. So with that being said, man, I'm excited. I'm ready to hop on the phones, man. I feel like we've given a lot of time today. Dan, you ready to hop on the phones? Matt's already on the phones. He's already out of here.
We got a podcast in 20 minutes.
Podcast in 20 minutes. I think I'm going to run back. What do you think, Dan? Should I do the podcast here with this view, or should I jump over to the other apartment, man? What are we doing? We like the view?
The view looks good. The view looks good.
The view's good, man. We're gonna stick around.
The view's good. The view's good.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Get after it today. If you want to have freedom, you gotta pay the price, and it ain't cheap. And when you really recognize it, like I'm telling you, man, there's so much stuff that I was just so unaware of. Before I had somebody that really helped me become more aware. I always knew that I had something figured out, but the problem is I thought I had more figured out than I really did. And so if you can find somebody, whether that's a friend or somebody, to really be that person that can hold the mirror up to you and say, look, this is what you're actually doing versus what you think you're doing, bro, you're going to go so far, because you're going to have a realistic view of what you're actually doing. And if you want more out of life, you got to go get to it. And I hope that even this community could be that mirror for you. I hope that somebody in here could hold that mirror up for you. I've had conversations, with some people in here that tell me they want more out of life, and I'm really rooting for that person. I'm rooting for these people to go out and get it. Because I'll tell you right now, the dream life that they talk about, that they say that they want, may not just be what they're waking up to every single day. But the reality is, you have the power of choice. You have free will. You can make a decision with your life to say, you know what? I'm not satisfied with what I have. I'm willing to risk everything that I currently have to attain something more, something better. And if I lose, at least I know I tried. And if you can get yourself into that position, into that mentality, you will be surprised as to what you actually manifest. So ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, please send somebody the link, discord.gg/REI Rev. Guys, we're about to go live on YouTube. We're going to be chopping it up. We're going to be talking about some stuff. Dan and I, hopefully Matt can join us. I'm sure he's a busy guy. He might not have time. But maybe AB will join us. We'll figure it out. somebody's gonna hop up on that stage. Make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube, though. I'm gonna type the link at REI Revolution and follow us on Instagram. We don't ask for much, guys. Just tap in with us, man. Tap in. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on Instagram. The sauce is free. You know what I'm saying? The work's sold separately. What are you thinking, Dan?
I'm just trying to get everything ready to go.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We will catch you there on YouTube in 20 minutes. Take care, y'all.